excited.
It's time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielson, Matt Kassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gage.
Yeah? We got you? All right. That's awesome. Coming in hot, in person, in the new studio. This is great. Matt Kassian.
I do not disturb.
Oh, turn your ringer off. Yeah. Because everybody like, hey, Matt.
Oh, he's there.
Yeah. How's your podcast going? God, I hate when people say that. I'm like, well, we're available as a podcast. We're a live talk station.
Wonderful.
How's his volume, Hernan? Do I need to change that? Everything's good? I think it sounds okay here.
And you are a beautiful human.
It's good. Yeah. Okay, yeah, he's almost.
Turn it up.
Yeah, sounds very good. Yeah, we're. This is great. Two guys and a goalie. I'm
on mute.
Shouldn't be.
Check now.
Shouldn't be.
Doesn't look like it.
No, because that button. Yeah.
I think we're okay.
Yeah.
Who said he's on mute?
They're lying. Bunch of liars.
Oh, it's
no. They say they can't hear what's going. Maybe this isn't. Is this board on? Do I have to select something else? Try that.
How about now?
Is that better? Everybody?
We'll see. We'll see. Give us some feedback. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. He's coming.
New
in.
studio.
He's not usually here in the new studio. It is Two Guys and a Goalie. That's Joaquin Gage. I'm Reid Wilkinson for Dustin Nielson, and of course Matt Kassian. We're all in person. Okay, I think you're coming through now. Maybe I had to hit this. I never run this board, so I'm learning on the fly. So I learned something today.
We did. We all did,
guys.
We all did.
I'll never forget. Yeah. Oh, Gager's looking.
Can hear him just fine.
Okay.
You're good now, boys. Okay.
Good. Beautiful.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. That's the great thing about having the chat is we get the instant feedback.
Yeah.
That's also the worst thing about having the chat is we get the instant feedback. Yeah.
So you drove in, didn't know where you're going. I should have said Benjamin Moore. Sorry. That's kind of my bad.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. You gave me the address and the doors have numbers on them.
Yeah.
So I probably should have been able to figure it out.
That's what I thought.
But I went down to because I know your car. So it's like I went to where your vehicle was because I'm like, oh, it's probably down here because I saw your car. So I was like parked there and then I started opening doors. And then I was like, no, this is a paint store. No, this is a graphic studio. No, this is... I don't know. And then I was like, well, maybe I should actually look at the numbers. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll have some sort of external signage.
Oh,
eventually.
well, yeah,
you know what it's like when you move.
Good.
We're here and we're off and running.
Yep.
The priority. And I mean, we all helped move. We all did something, but
except for me.
As you know,
I didn't either. No. I did nothing.
But Matt Awanek, as you know, super organized, super efficient. And a lot of the stuff he just said, don't help me with this. I know what has to be. And a lot of it was the technical stuff. So setting up this room. And I understand that as much as a lot of us wanted to help. As I've gotten older, I've realized sometimes it's okay just to let somebody else do it their way. Especially if you don't like, I don't like, so by the time Matt could have told me or somebody else, okay, take that cord. No, not that one. That one. Okay. Take the other end and put you could do it. So I do understand, but I'm glad you're here. So were you here before for any reason?
No.
You didn't see it empty?
No, I hadn't seen it empty.
So you haven't even gone to the far end yet? Like there's a far end.
No, I went to the far end.
Okay.
Because I walked this way and I'm like, I don't know which way the studio portion is.
Yeah, like we're tucked away. It's
great.
I
saw Zacticum was down there and so I was just like, there's people this way, they'll know where to go. So that's maybe even a little bit more on the being behind coming in because I'm like running down the hallway that way and they're like, no, it's that way. I'm like, well, okay, here I go.
Well, I'm glad you came in because it's really cool being here. I mean, we've been gushing
awesome.
about it all week.
It's
This is
awesome.
an incredible location.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you'd seen it already.
Well, I've seen it. I've seen it.
You watched the other shows.
I've seen The Wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. But haven't and seen you guys in the shows, which are always great, of course, but hadn't seen the rest of the building. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, what's cool today is we have news. I mean, somebody asked me last night, so what do you talk about? It was Mac T this morning.
Yeah.
I read into Mac T at this news and he's like, so what are you guys talking about? I'm like, well, Elks. And I said, storytelling, like our lives. I mean, there's always stuff on talk radio, but there's actually news today. The Oil Kings have hired their new head coach. It is a name well known in this market, and I would say a very popular name in this market and with Oilers fans. Jason Smith will now be the head coach of the Oil Kings. He has coached, been a head coach in the WHL, an assistant in the AHL and the NHL, which is significant. I know you each have some stories about him. But before we maybe get into those specifically, I guess even if we were in another market, if we're covering the Brandon Wheat Kings, we'd probably be thinking, oh, wow. Like, what a get for the Oil Kings, bringing back a guy with that cachet in that market to be the head coach.
Yep. Yeah, certainly a guy with a pedigree, even in coaching. There's the playing career pedigree, but you're absolutely right. Like if this was the Vancouver Giants, if this was the Calgary Hitmen, if this was the Swift Current Broncos, wherever this was, if Jason Smith got hired as the head coach, we probably would say the same thing. In that, what a good get. For a junior team to get a quality coach, and he is a quality coach, a guy with experience, with NHL experience, you're happy with it as an organization and as a junior squad. Gager hates it already.
I
thinks it's horrible.
It's a terrible choice. I don't know why they didn't pick me. No experience whatsoever. But no, I admired Jason Smith, Gager, as we used to refer to him. I was on the same team. I think, Kass, you had him as a coach.
I had him as a coach in Ottawa,
and he's, the word to summarize him as a player, if I could do it in one word, it would be warrior, because there was nothing this guy wouldn't do to help his team win. Extremely aggressive, blocking shots. I remember when I went to Europe and I came back to the room to see the guys or whatever, and saw him, and it was at the end of the year, and he had his shirt off, but it just looked like he was just war torn, just bumps, bruises, scratch, like just beat up. And I was, geez, Gator, I don't know how you doing this. And then I watched him that night, and it was just the same thing with what he would do. So. Yeah, and I think you mentioned all those other cities, Kass, but also that connection to the Oilers. Being a former captain of the Edmonton Oilers, I think that's a good move on the Oil Kings, their hiring process, because to some people of an older vintage, you go, you know what, I want to go watch old Gator coach a team now. That's pretty cool, I think. Yeah,
I don't know. Like, how much do you think that factors into it, guys?
I think it does.
You think it does?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
Not that maybe not the idea of, hey, he's played in Edmonton, he was the captain of the Oilers, but the idea of, hey, this is going to sell more tickets. That's the part. Like I get the, he was a captain of the Oilers. It's a great look on the organization. It's great to have a name come in that's recognizable. Like I get that, but it's like, will people pay or more people go to the games to watch him coach? I don't know. My question.
That's a good question. They draw pretty well.
Yeah.
Even when, a couple, was it 2 or 3 years ago, they won like 10 games or something. Kurt Hill referenced that today, the GM of the team. And they still, I don't know if it was that year, but they have multiple times set WHL attendance records, because people who maybe still want to see that building or see an affordable price point for a family go to Oil Kings games. And they've done a very good job with the promotions, having the lion mascot, having I don't know how many different jerseys they wear in a year. It's got to be close to 10.
Yeah.
And having the Star Wars night and the hot dogs and the Sunday 4:00 games. So they've done a really good job. And we've talked to Kevin Radomski about that numerous times. So I don't know if people will say, I don't know if the tickets will go way up because of Jason Smith, but I think maybe for some casual fans, they might follow the results of the team a little bit more. I mean, maybe especially out of the gate, like, oh, I love this guy, how he played.
Yeah.
I hope his teams play like that. I also think we've seen over the years, though, again, people go, and when the teams have been good, people start following. Like, I remember I guess, 3 times total they've been to the Memorial Cup, twice in the Reinhardt, Pissick, Lazar era, Jari and LB. And then when they went with Neighbors, and I was going to say Gunther, but he was hurt, but Goalie.
He was there.
Kosa and all those guys. I mean, people got into them and wanted to know, and it was great for the talk shows and stuff. So I still think that there's a lot of good vibe around the Oil Kings, and people want to embrace their success. Plus, unlike the Oilers and the Elks, they're not going to get torn to pieces if they lose, right? So no, who knows? Maybe if they do have a .320 winning percentage at the end of the year, maybe people will be like, "What did Gager do? Come on!" I mean, maybe maybe he does open himself up a little bit to that. But at the very least, it can't hurt having a name like that behind the bench just for people wanting to follow the team.
Yeah, I got a great thoughts for both of you. I got another question, because, and it might be in the nasty chat already, I can't see, but this is going to come up at some point. I guarantee you both, this comes up at some point, or it's already popping up in the questions, whether it's nasty chat, Twitter, text line, wherever it is. Is this an audition? Is this an audition for Jason Smith at some point to be on the bench for the Edmonton Oilers as opposed to the Oil Kings?
I mean, it's part of the OEG group, right? And you're going to have eyeballs on you more times than not. I equate it just to like every other game. Everyone's watching you at some point. And if you're in a place where you're playing in the same establishment as the NHL team, they're going to be watching too. It's just tough, that jump, but he's done it before. He's coached in the NHL.
And that's the question. Is like he's been there.
But usually, I mean, a lot of teams don't really look. That's the one position, I think, from the American League to the NHL, it doesn't always that progression. Oh, this guy comes up, he's coaching the American League, and then we keep him. He stays in the organization, he becomes head coach for the NHL team. It happens sometimes, but not a lot. A lot of times teams look outside their own organization to hire their.
That's a great question. I didn't really consider that because, well, I guess the fact that I'm not considering it, that if I had to say yes or no, I would say no. But I understand why you would bring that up. I mean, it is OEG. It's all the same ownership umbrella. I would think... Okay, so my answer is no. I don't think it's on a direct audition. Like, I don't think that would ever come up. Like, hey, Jason, do 2 good years with the Oil Kings. But coaching staffs in the NHL change. I mean, to be optimistic about it, if there's an assistant position open on the Oilers, let's say within 2 years.
Yep.
Maybe it's because good things have happened. Maybe the new guys, get to go be head coaches somewhere else. Or go where they can get more responsibility as an assistant. And then maybe it's like, well, geez, Jason, you've done well with the Oil Kings and about being in the NHL. And I know you're going to talk about having him in Ottawa.
Yep.
So, it's a comfortable transition. But I don't think it's a direct audition. Like, I don't think that would come up. Okay, so let me ask you this. From a former Oiler who's coaching, and I'm going to bring up a guy I know, like, who's closer to being on an NHL bench? Jason Smith, head coach of the Edmonton Oil Kings, or Mark Letestu, now the head coach of the Colorado Eagles in the AHL? You know what I mean? Like, who's on a quicker path to maybe be an NHL assistant?
Yeah.
I know that's kind of a hypothetical, but I don't know. Like, usually for the head coach of a junior team, I would say, I don't know if there's a straight jump to the
Usually they jump to an assistant position.
Right. It would have to be an assistant
usually
in the
you
NHL.
jump to assistant in the NHL position. Yeah.
Do most coaches in junior go to the American League and become head coaches?
Yes.
That's where they go. But
usually it's one of the two. I think it's one of the two. It's generally, it's very general. They either go head coach in junior to assistant coach in the NHL.
Yeah.
Like that's the bigger jump.
Yeah.
Some of them make, or they go from head coach in junior
CHL.
to AHL. That would typically.
I've seen that way more.
Yeah.
So
I'd say it's one of the two would be your routes.
Yeah. So, and what would you, I mean, I'm not a coach. I don't know what would I rather do? And I think being the psychopath that I am, I want full control. So I'd rather be a coach in the American League than assistant. No, I think I'd still want to go to the American League and coach.
Yeah. See, too much time on the bus, man. Like
bus schmus.
That's going to be one of my first questions for Jason Smith this afternoon. He's on Reid Wilkins' show at 3:40, by the way. You must really like riding the bus.
Yeah.
That's Regina Pat, right? Played in Regina. First rounder to New Jersey, I believe.
Where was he overall? He was pretty high. Well, he was
really
18th. 18th.
Yeah.
Yep.
Say that like that's like not that good.
Well, when I
only
say
18th.
pretty high, I guess I was wondering top 10 at first. It is pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Where were you again?
I was second round.
And Gager, where were you?
I was
got
lightning
Gager's
struck in
page
the
open.
fifth round.
Oh, yeah, you told me the story, 109th. Pretty good. Look at that picture of Gager.
It's a beautiful
Look at that.
picture.
Wonder if he has more. Do you guys look at yes?
Oh, yeah.
You can click. I
I didn't know you can click on those.
Yeah, you know how I learned that? I learned so much from Rob Brown, including this Hockey DB, because he had.
I'm going to be terrified of this now.
Let me. I don't. Well, too bad I can't. Yeah, look at this one. So
Those are so good.
So he has one. I think that's from Hartford, where he looks like he is
Just-
fresh out of prison
Yeah, that
and
is a
already
mugshot.
and has already consumed like a bunch of LSD or something. And now he's looking to rob your house.
Oh my goodness, that's
And
great.
so I actually at one point he's like, Reid, can you do anything? I'm like, how do I do anything? Like Ched doesn't run Hockey DB, and he's like, you must know somebody. So I found the guy who runs Hockey DB, and I was like, hey, this might be weird, but I work with Rob Brown. There's that picture off of him. You know,
Can you make sure it never changes?
Can we? I should have done that. I actually asked,
No matter what.
like, can we send you a new one or scan a hockey card? And he's like, well, there's only so many pictures that I legally have access to that no Upper Deck or Fleer or O-Peachy or a team isn't going to come and say, hold on, buddy. Like this isn't some website that 5 people go to a day that can fly under. Like Hockey DB gets probably millions of hits a day. He's like, I have to use just certain pictures. But if you click on the Rob Brown picture, there's a headshot probably from Pittsburgh that's decent. And then the other one that's like, did you see this one, Gager? Like, everybody go to Rob Brown's Hockey DB. And it's a picture
Brownie.
of him in the white jersey.
We love you, Brownie.
He hates it. He hates it. So that's, anyway, what were we talking about? This tends to be, it is like how
I know,
it
we
is
just
when I'm
all
on.
over the map.
Yeah,
no, you know what? We went from where'd you rather play? We were pulling up his resume, Jason Smith's resume,
Right.
From where he played. So there was the
Regina,
Yep.
Utica Devils, just in the playoffs. Oh, he did one of the things once the Regina season ended.
Yeah,
He
he
went
They
to
would
the
have went to
NHL.
play. Yeah.
And then he didn't spend a lot of time then with the Albany River Rats. He was pretty much straight into the NHL. And then what was the trade?
Was it straight to Edmonton?
Alan McCauley and Steve Sullivan to Toronto for Elliot Gilmore and futures. When was Doug Gilmore with the Devils?
Really?
I don't even remember that. Geez, he played 83 games there over a couple of years. I do not remember
I don't
Doug
remember
Gilmore
that
as a
trade,
Devil.
Trade deadline. It looked probably trade deadline from Toronto, looks like.
Yeah.
To Jersey, and then he played one season.
Yeah. Wow.
Huh.
And then Jason Smith was. Okay, do you remember the Oilers, the trade? Pretty.
No.
That you could put that up there as one of the best trades in Oilers history.
Oh, that's
I
really
mean, I
good.
know Ekholm is in that discussion now.
Yeah.
And I guess Slat's probably ripped off a few teams or did a good job modifying. So Jason Smith, March 23rd, 1999, traded from Toronto to Edmonton for a 4th-round pick in the 1999 draft and a 2nd-round pick in the 2000 draft.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So a 4th and a 2nd, but you got a future captain and absolute warrior, as Gage described, and beloved in the community and with the fan base.
Yeah. Well, how many years did you get out of him too? Was it eight? 8 or 9?
98, Okay, so he got traded in 99 he would have got traded and was there until the end of the 07
Yeah, 9
season.
years.
So, and then from Edmonton, along with Joffrey Lupul to the Flyers for Jeff Sanderson, Joni Pitkanen, who was pretty good.
He was good.
And a
Not
third-round pick in 2000. And Jeff Sanderson was later. Oh, that was his career. Didn't he have back issues? Didn't Jeff Sanderson have a bad back?
I can't.
Wasn't
remember.
that the thing with him? Anyway, so that's Jason Smith's playing. I remember. So I was not covering the Oilers when Jason Smith was here, but in the summer of 2007, I went to Philadelphia to see Philadelphia and watch a couple baseball games. And I remember driving into the airport. And remember, they acquired Jason Smith and immediately made him captain of the Flyers.
Oh, did they?
And so the airport in Philadelphia, it's almost like here. Like, it's not in the city. It's past that sports complex at the south end of the city. So it's a bit of a drive into town. So eventually you're kind of coming into Philadelphia, and there was a huge billboard, like with Jason Smith kind of serious, but you could see the missing teeth and the fly, like a head and shoulders shot. And I can't remember the exact text, but it was basically along the lines of, "We found a real Flyer." Like that was the tone of
Somebody mean.
like the Broad Street Bullies are back, so to speak. And then, it wasn't great for him there, only 1 year. And I guess he was a little older at that point, but they were celebrating having acquired Jason Smith and making him, I'm pretty sure they made him the captain right away.
That's amazing. Oh, I mean, there was a lot of miles on that body by that time too.
That's
right?
it's a tough way to play for a long time.
So do you guys find, and we're still going to keep teeing up Kass's stories, but
I mean, teeing up my stories.
Your perspective
sure.
of him being an assistant coach. Do you find that players who play that rugged game, I guess this would be from teammates you've had or guys you've seen, is the drop-off more dramatic when the end finally is near?
I think so.
Because eventually
your body just quits.
Just gives out.
Your body just
As opposed
quits.
to like a 27-goal scorer goes to 23, then to 20 for a couple of years, then to 18.
Yeah.
It's different for the rugged guys?
I think it's typically different for the rugged guys. Now, you could look at like a Corey Perry is a guy, but that being said, it's like he was a skill guy. Now, he still played an aggressive game, but he was a skill guy and then kind of reinvented himself continually and has as he's gone. But I think generally that drop off just happens sooner because it's just, you're abusing your body. I mean, a skill guy that doesn't have to have the wear and tear of just the physicality night in and night out. You just have the capacity to play longer. You do. You really do. You have the capacity to play longer. And I think even more so for defensemen than forwards. Because the defensemen that are in it all the time, you're beating up your body all the time, blocking shots, breaking bones in your foot. You're getting run, picking up pucks, like just always getting hit and always getting hit and dishing it out too. And then always battling in front. Like it wears on your body. Like it really does. You feel it and you can feel it in your bones, in your joints. So yes, towards the end, I think that drop off, and not to segue into Matthias Ekholm conversation, but that's what kind of scares me about his injury and heading into this season. Without having to go that way, let's stay on Jason Smith. But it's just like, I feel that drop off happens much quicker. And you don't see it on the points production, right? Because they're not big points guys before that. It's not like they're putting up 80 points a year now, as you did with the goals, like where now it's 75, now it's 70, now it's 60, now it's 50, now it's 40, now it's 20.
Yeah.
Like where you see that type of a drop. It's like, because the points, they just never were the points. It's like, they're just the on ice capacity, defending, ability to be physical, I think just kind of hits a point and drops off dramatically.
The thing that I always admire with certain players and players that I played against, like when I played against Jason Smith and Jr., and it was only a couple of times, but he was a offensive guy. Like he was quite gifted, and he had some gift. I think Jeff Friesen was on that team as a 16-year-old too, and he scored like 50 goals in junior. But it always shocked me his transition. Oh, this is a skilled puck moving defenseman, and you get to a certain level, and sometimes that doesn't work anymore, and you have to find that niche or that way to become a full-time NHLer. And what was it for him is to become the shot blocking.
Yeah.
got people questioning when the puck's in his corner whether they really want to go in and battle for it or not, right?
Yep.
We had this thing, we called it the Cobra Kai. Like he would basically grab people by the throat and one arm them down. It was obviously a holding penalty now, but he would do it all the time, and he was vicious. But I think what really you're talking about, just that longevity thing, Kass, he was a gamer too, right?
Yeah.
He wouldn't back down. So that didn't prolong his career either. Just his way of backing up his toughness when there was a willing combatant to go back and forth with him. So,
well, and he still had a really long career.
Oh, yeah, and it was long.
Let's be very
for sure.
clear with that. Like that wasn't. It's not like he played 5 years, 6 years. Like that was a long career. He played over 1,000 games.
Yeah.
Like is a rugged guy. That is a lot of games to play.
And willing to get hit, right? Like part of his toughness was, I'm not going to slide out of a body check. I'm going back to get the puck. And if I get run from behind, that's fine. I'm going to show my teammates, even to make a 4-foot pass, I'll be in pain. Whereas probably now guys are more taught like,
spin off of it.
You can chip it or spit off it.
Yeah.
Or now with no 2-line pass, just fired hard all the way around the boards, and that's our breakout. So
yeah.
Gage, Kassian, and Wilkins on Two Guys and a Goalie today. I'm in for Dusty. He has the
game tonight.
The PJ Walker Bowl. Well, that's not what it's called. PJ Walker's going to start at quarterback. I'm still picking Calgary to win, by the way.
Okay.
Over Ottawa, even with their backup.
Really?
Well, because I think that obviously Dickinson's done such a good job already this year, and now he has a week to prep the guy to be a starter and figure out the plays that work for him. I still think Calgary goes in there and wins. Anyway, Two Guys on the Goalie for GS Construction, setting the industry standard for 50 years with quality, efficiency, and safety driving their success. GS Construction has a foundation built on teamwork, and now they want you to become part of the team. Visit gsconstruction.ca, click Ready to Work, or visit their page at indeed.ca. With the Next Person Up program at GS Construction, it's not just a job, it is a career. So, Jason Smith, assistant coach with Matt Kassian's Ottawa Senators. Speaking of a guy who was on the billboard from 14 to 16.
Well, not just the billboard. It was the billboard. It was the posters inside the rink.
Well, I think that's that's your face on the Senators logo.
You know what? I do have a chiseled jaw, and they've been in contact with me. They're like, "Well, hey, if this new rink does end up, we progress towards it, can we do a statue?" And I said, "I'll think about it." Only if it's a statue, and my body is my body now, not my body then, because I want them to love me for my body now for who I am inside, not just the specimen.
That's
I
why
was.
I love you guys.
Yeah.
Like, I could just throw in a little kernel and you guys make
just run with it.
Full box of popcorn.
No, yeah. So he like he was there when I got traded and was there the next season in Ottawa. So my whole time in Ottawa, he was there. And he took on a more prominent role. So one of the assistant coaches was dealing with some health issues in Ottawa. And so he went from being like Jason went from being a guy that was like on the ice of practices as an assistant, working with the defenseman in particular, working with the penalty kill in particular, but then would be in the press box for games. But then he transitioned to being on the bench because you had, again, some health issues for one of the coaches that required Jason to be on the bench. So he took over and actually was out there. So it's not like I was interacting with him a massive amount during games because he was running the defenseman, and during practice he was typically running the defenseman. That being said, I was always getting to hang out with the penalty killers. Yeah, always getting to hang out with those guys, even if it was just penalty killing and blocking shots in practice. So the power play guys get used to teeing them up and ripping shots, and when you have to turn your stick over and you can't even actually penalty kill. You're trying to, and it's just like, well, this is dumb. Like, I'm trying to get on the penalty kill and actually get minutes in a game for this, and you're not even letting me have my stick normal. Anyways, I'm not upset. Not bitter about that at all. But I'm not actually, but Jason was out there for that. So we did get to interact quite a bit on the penalty kill side, and then just in practices in general. And then he was a guy that'd be out, as I frequently was when you're working with the goaltenders. I was one of the guys that was always on the ice.
Right.
No optional was actually optional. Right. And Jason was typically out there for those too. So from a coaching standpoint, it's not like he was sitting there giving me my X's and O's because he was a defenseman coach and I was a forward. But how I can say is from an interaction standpoint is he is a guy that does know how to talk to players, and he is a guy that cares tremendously and is very passionate about the game of hockey and about playing it and not just playing it the way, because sometimes you have coaches, I think, that get stuck in Gager. You probably have stories about this too, is you have coaches that get stuck in the mindset, like coaches that played a long time in the NHL.
Yeah.
They get stuck in the mindset of the players have to all play like me.
All right.
Right. Like every player should be like me,
Yes.
needs to be like me, or just having a infatuation with players that played the way that they did.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So, and you see that both sides of it. Sometimes you see that with coaches that were skill coaches or like skill players. Sometimes you see it that don't necessarily understand playing the game with grit and like fighting through things the same way. And then on the flip side, you have coaches that, were the physical guys that they're just, the idea or concept of actually playing a skill game and being able to have some latitude for those players to make mistakes and that sort of thing, where they clamp down on that. And so coaches can get caught in their own style that they were played in. But I don't think with him, and maybe that's just from an NHL assistant standpoint, him, interacting and working with Erik Karlsson, I don't think he is pigeonholed. My observation was he wasn't pigeonholed into being that, like everyone has to play the exact type of way that I played, which was is a hard way. And that's a big ask to play that way. So limited interaction from him giving me the X's and O's standpoint. And as an assistant coach, the levers are always different, right? The personality is different. The way you interact with guys in the room is different as an assistant coach, where you're more friendly, you're more approachable, right? You're the more chipper up and up, where oftentimes head coaches, you have to be not ice cold necessarily, but there's a little more separation from a personality standpoint, and that's fine. So it is a little bit different, and didn't see him in that capacity as a head coach. But all my interactions with him, being with him for a couple of seasons, and outside of that too, and just bumping into him at different charity events and seeing him every once in a while the last couple of years, is that he's fully capable of doing it. Now, the interesting thing, as it always will be, is how does that translate? Because coaching junior players is very different than coaching NHL players. Very, very different. So it's ringette, so it's a different sport, but I kind of get sucked into helping on ice with my my middle daughter's ringette. Okay. And so the way I interact with them versus I was on a couple days ago, the ice with some high-end junior kids helping out, and it's like the way you interact with those two groups, dramatically different, right? Dramatically different. And it's the same NHL and junior guys, where it's just personality wise, you're dealing with some different things. Maturity wise, you're dealing with some different things. Skill level wise, you're dealing with some different things. So it'll be interesting to see how it pans out for him. All that being said, I do think he's a guy that is fully capable of having tremendous success, which is probably why he got the job.
Well, and obviously he's been in the junior level quite a bit as well. That's interesting perspective for sure. And Gager, what was your overlap with him as an Oiler?
Just 2001.
Okay.
When I played with him then. The one thing I think that's advantageous to young Oil King players, and I don't know if you had this too, Kass, but I had Brent Peterson as a coach in Portland, and he played in the NHL. He had those stories. He had Scotty Bowman as a head coach in Buffalo, right? And told us horror stories about that. And he was such it was really easy to communicate with him. And I think the fact that as a young player going into the rink, knowing that my coach played in the NHL, where we all want to get to it one day, I think that there's something to that. And a lot of people haven't, when you come into the dressing room area in Rogers Place, where the Oilers dressing room is and the Oil Kings, there's all the pictures, right?
Yep.
And Jason Smith's face is in a ton of them, and wearing a C. Yep. So I think there's something to that a little bit. I mean, that you look up as a young player and goes, oh, my coach, there's my coach right there that year, right? And he's wearing the C. I think for the most part, these kids that get to junior become sponges. They want to learn as much as possible. And what better way to learn how to get to the NHL from a guy who was a skilled player? I'm not saying he was just skilled, but he was more skilled in junior, obviously, than he was in the NHL. That knows how to get there and to stay there. This is that's another thing that I think goes into the hiring process.
Yeah, you are, I think, as a young player, more likely to listen to someone that's been there. And hockey's kind of got a weird
I know.
feel like that.
What have you done?
Yeah, well, no, but
Yeah,
it does,
it is,
and
yeah.
probably more so than like football and some of the other sports where there's still that to a certain extent, but there's less because there's so many different positions,
Yeah.
right? Like in position coaches and in different tracks. But in hockey, right or wrong, there's that mentality, right? Where it's like, you're not one of us.
Yeah.
But in that, it's like, oh no, you're one of us. You did this. And maybe some of the younger kids a little bit more likely to listen.
You're walking in and seeing Jason Smith's resume
Yeah.
Right.
a bunch of times on
Yeah.
the wall, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, that's a good point, right? And I've heard those stories about Hitchcock, how hard
Yeah.
it was for him. It's like, well, you never played. And let's
Yeah.
face it, he was obviously a heavy guy.
Couldn't skate.
And,
yeah.
you know, for those
Some
players
of
to
those
be like,
stories. So-
okay, it's one thing I've never heard of this guy, but like, he's not even like, it's not fair necessarily, but there is more of that barrier. Whereas maybe in football or baseball, it's like, well, this guy is known as a tactician.
Yeah.
You know, you look at some of these football coaches, it's like when they're 22, they're the volunteer
Yeah.
video editor for
water
their
boy.
local college. And then, you know, they
just-
slow the next
yeah.
year, they work with the linebackers and then they become a coach, and players can look at that and be like, oh, he really committed to it young like I had to. Whereas hockey, I think
a little
to a
different.
degree, it can be like that. I love what you said too about how coaches and probably sometimes managers
Yep.
becoming infatuated with
The way
who
they
was I as a player. That's the path to the NHL. That's the path. Like, I'll tolerate these guys who aren't like me. And the one thing I've noticed, now Knobloch didn't play in the NHL, but he was a very good junior and university player and all that kind of stuff. He said it the first day he was hired, that when he watches the Oilers, you know, he sees a team that's kind of lacking in confidence and doesn't look like they're enjoying the game. And I wonder if that's his thing from his career, that he needed a coach who sort of empowered him to, you know, be yourself out there, like make plays. Don't worry if something fails. Like if you're an offensive player, keep trying that. And he's brought up, and I know with Knobloch, a lot of people say, well, I can't listen to him because he drones on, but he actually does say interesting stuff. Like he brings up luck, right? Like he'll actually say, well, sometimes, you know, you just don't have luck on your side. We lost 4-1, but we had chances to make it 4-4. So I wonder if that's not that like he's not excluding a type of player, but I wonder if that dialogue is a dialogue that he took from his playing experience.
Yeah.
You know, about confidence and knowing the difference between a bad game and bad luck, perhaps, when you're doing all the right things. Anyway.
For
just
sure.
to circle it back.
I think for sure you bring prior experiences to what you're doing currently all the time. Success wherever it's been. But yeah, like I always wondered what kind of head coach I would have been. I don't
The mean one.
I
would have had the best food in the locker room, that's for sure.
we would have had the best food, and but I almost won the MACT invitation this weekend. So but,
There you
so
go.
I'm stepping up with 9-year-olds.
Yep.
Troll texting in 780-218-9999. You can also post in the Nasty Chat on YouTube and keep giving us a thumbs up there as well. Troll says Jason Smith, an all-time top 3 favorite Oiler for me, along with Mark Messier and Leon Draisaitl. And then Troll also says, I like McTavish as a coach, but he had a bit of that play this grinder over his capabilities thing.
I don't know if I had MacT for 1 year, and that was his first year. And usually, I think that's where you'd see him kind of go back to what he knows. But I didn't find that with him. I thought he gave a lot of freedom for guys to play. I think they weren't all MacT out there for sure.
We got to read this from the Godfather.
This is a good one.
Mac T's love of Toby Peterson now makes sense. Oh, jeez.
Oh, that's gold.
That was the one
good.
guy I remember. Again, I wasn't covering the team, but I remember on the
That's gold.
talk shows and stuff. Why is he playing this guy and
We did love
all that kind of stuff? But,
Sean Horkoff. He did love Sean Horkoff.
Well, Horkoff was a good player though.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I mean, if you're coaching not a very good team, an above average player might be the best you got.
Yeah.
Well, the other team is throwing out excellent players in the same situation.
Was the decade of darkness.
Guys, like if McDavid and Draisaitl were 15 years younger, or born 15 years earlier, Horkoff wouldn't have been on the Oilers power play.
Yeah.
You know? That's, even Hemsky might have not been. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Well, he probably still
Hammer would have been.
but you know what I'm saying. 780-218-9999 is how you can text us. We're in the Popeyes studio, by the way. Great to have Matt Kassian with us. Joaquin Gage is here. He's sticking around at 1 o'clock to do EST afternoons with Hernan Salas. I'm going to return at 3 o'clock for the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne. Jason Smith is scheduled to join us at 3:40 this afternoon. I think he'll be doing the talk show rounds throughout the day and doing a lot of interviews, as that is the news today. The Oil Kings hiring Jason Smith as their new head coach. Yeah, he's been in the NHL as a player and an assistant, WHL, American Hockey League, most recently with Lehigh Valley Phantoms, the Flyers AHL affiliate. I don't know where that is. It's in Pennsylvania, isn't it? Close to Philly? I don't even know.
Yeah, it's somewhere.
All the
Yeah,
AHL teams are.
because I think Nick Schultz, a former Oiler, is the assistant coach there.
Oh, right.
Also former teammate of myself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Minnie.
And me too.
Yeah, for a couple years. Yeah.
Good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Quiet.
I know Baseball Reference
He's
has
very
it.
good. I didn't find him quiet. He's soft-spoken. I wouldn't say quiet. He's soft-spoken. Like, he's not a yelling, screaming type of guy.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But he would speak his mind.
I
found that anyways. Maybe that was, I would have had him later in his career.
Well, we were in Germany together for a year.
Okay.
Right? So, and he was always hesitant to speak German. He didn't, not that he didn't like it or whatever, but he was just, I don't really know the language. I don't know what to say. So maybe that's why he was quiet.
But you speak English. Like, he could have talked to you.
Oh, he talked to me all the time.
Why did you say he was quiet?
But I had other North Americans that would like yell in English and try and butcher German in English and yelling too, right? So
I'm trying to see if there's a kind of a 6 degrees separation website for hockey. I know
it's going to be, you could
Baseball
lower
Reference has
it
one.
to 4.
Yeah.
Or 3 or 2. The degrees of separation from a hockey standpoint are minuscule.
yeah,
Minuscule.
there's
But
just
they
two
have
people that are, like we both played with or coached with or had as a coach.
And,
Right.
and you know what? And you know what? Matty Cullen
right.
brings that probably down from like 6 or 5 degrees to like 1.5.
Well, and the guys who was that had played for 11 teams? Not Brent Ashton, some other guy that was
Like,
traded away.
I can't remember who it was. This may have been back before the previous shop closed down a couple of years ago. So it may have been one of the guys over there. I can't remember who it was that actually looked at that and was like, based on Matt Cullen's career length and the number of guys he played with, on the number of teams he played with, that he played with something like, it was like 30-something% of the guys that had ever played a game in the NHL he had been on a team with. It was ridiculous. No, it was like the percentage. Like, I remember looking at that going like, oh, that's crazy, but it's true. It's I use this example all the time. I like, hockey's a family. It's a family, and it is a family. It's a really dysfunctional family, extremely dysfunctional family. But it's like this tiny little thing. If you really look at it, I mean, the number of guys that have actually just ever played a game in the NHL is minuscule. It's like just over 8,000. That's one game in the NHL. Like, it's tiny. So the degrees of separation, there's none. Don't give me that 6 degrees of separation. It's like 3.
Yeah. Well, the baseball, I remember doing this a few years ago, but you could put in a player from the 1890s and see how many overlaps there were to get to like Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
So they try to find, okay, this guy
What are
played
the
until
connections?
1911. This guy started in 1911, played till 1930. So there's also, have you guys ever done puck Doku?
No.
I got Stoff into this for a while and he couldn't stop. So it's a 9 square grid. Everybody go to puckdoku.com. If you're
that's gonna be me.
I did not
that's
know
gonna be me.
I did not know this was today's puzzle.
Yeah.
So you have to take where the two teams or attributes intersect and find a player. But the lower score the better. So if there was a Kings Oilers square, don't put in Gretzky because everybody got put in Gretzky. You got to put in, I don't even know, like Brian Benning maybe or something like that.
Oh,
so the first square today is somebody who was a Senator and a Minnesota Wild.
Get me in there.
Who should we type in, Gage?
Get me in there.
What do you think?
You have to put Kass in there.
No, there's a Zach and a Matt. Which one do we put in?
Well, Zach didn't play in Ottawa, so let's go for it.
1%. So that's good. You want to try and get a 0 point something.
Okay.
So one's pretty good. So we're giving everybody you can put in Matt Kassian for the top left square today.
Free pick.
That's awesome.
So you got to try and find somebody who
That's hilarious.
was a
Islanders, Ottawa, Zen and Konopka. That'll be a low one.
1% again.
Yep, there we go.
Whoa.
Senators 30 plus points in a season. Lazar never got to 30.
No, Laser didn't get to 30.
Clark MacArthur.
In a single season, he'd be over that. He might be higher than the 1%,
People might
though.
know him, though, yeah.
Yeah, he'd be higher than the 1%. Guillaume Latendresse could be one. Oh, no, go Greenway. No, Colin Greenway.
Colin Greenway.
Yeah.
Jeez, I don't even remember him.
Or Greening, sorry.
Oh, Greening. We're doing puck Doku on the fly,
there you go.
everybody.
Yeah, that'll be a low one.
0.4%, so that's actually a 0.
Yep.
So the goal is to get 0 if you can.
Yep.
We have time to finish it. Let's finish in 2 minutes, then we'll do hired or fired. Maybe hired or fired. Hired or fired. Is puck Doku fun?
Yes.
Presented by
This is
GS
great.
Construction.
Yeah.
Hiring now. Become a part of their great team today by visiting gsconstruction.ca or their page on indeed.ca. For the past 50 years, the foundation of GS Construction has been built on efficiency, quality, and safety. Take your career to the next level. Join the team at GS Construction. Efficiency, quality, and safety also rules for playing puck Doku. Okay, we need a Wild and a Capital. We need a Wild and a Red Wing.
Wild and a Red Wing.
There must be tons of guys who were Capitals and Islanders.
Caps and Isles will have a bunch.
We need an Islander and a Red Wing. People can help in the nasty chat. Somebody put Ted Donato. What would he have fit in? Would have that been a Senator with more than 30 points? Okay, any 30-plus point season with the Capitals. Would have Alan May never would have got to 30 points, would have he? Because he fought.
The Caps? No.
Did Brashear ever have over 30 points?
Oh, I don't know, actually. I doubt it. He would have played at a really low.
Yeah, low scoring era.
What was that D-man? Did he play Caps and Wings too?
Green?
Is it Green?
But that's not one of the squares.
Oh.
The Caps are with the Wild, the Islanders, and 30-plus points.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How about a Red Wing, 30-plus points? How about Sean Burr?
I don't even know who that is. So
Sean Burr?
Can I try? If it's wrong, you lose one of the things.
Yeah. Go for it.
Where's my mouse, Kass?
It was there. There. Up there. Yep.
There it is.
There you go.
0.5. Pretty
There we
good.
go. Another good one.
That's good.
Pretty good. Not bad at all.
This is a fun game.
Who's somebody from I always think back to guys in the 80s.
I know.
When a 45-point player nobody had heard of, not like now where it's like, oh, that's your second line winger.
Yeah.
Pody wound up on the Capitals, didn't he?
Yes.
Yep.
No, I don't know if he has to have had the 30-plus points with that team. I can't remember what the role is. Oh, hey, Coop. Zach Kubish is here. I don't know if we're going to finish this, everybody, but we sure are having fun.
It is fun,
having fun. Oh, Chimera.
Oh, there you go.
We got to use
That's
him.
a good one. Yeah,
So could we use him as a...
Cap Siles.
Yeah. He's going to be mad that I forgot about him.
Oopsies.
5%.
Yeah, that's higher, though.
That's high.
Well, he did play a lot of games.
He's got a great photo, though.
That is a good picture.
He's got 1,100 games.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He's got a ton of games.
Yeah, he played, and he got like 20
Still
goals
flying.
when he was 37 or something, didn't he?
The Oilers should have.
We should. You know what? We should use him for 30-plus point season.
Yeah.
With the Caps.
With the Caps.
Yeah, probably. Because you can't use a guy more than once.
Yep.
So that's the thing. If you put Ovechkin in there, it'd be like 58%.
Right. No, that's the easy
Why
one.
would you put that?
You can't.
You can't. This is fun, though. But some of the teams, because for a while, probably for 2 or 3 months, I did this every day.
Yeah.
And some of like at Minnesota Wild, I'd always be like, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mikko Koivu, he only played one.
What about Darby Hendrickson?
As a Capital?
I don't think he played a Cap. No, I think Darby only played in Minnesota, didn't he?
I thought he played it.
I don't think he played in Washington or Detroit.
in
Amazing
Detroit.
human, by the way.
Oh, really?
Fantastic person.
He was a good player. I like
Yeah.
him.
Brooks Like.
Brooks Lake.
What if he had
That's
30
a
points?
good one. Did he have 30 though?
Are we at the point where we just got to try it for fun?
Yeah. I mean, we gotta move through
Yeah,
this.
if
here,
we're
so.
wrong, we're wrong. 2%, 30-plus
bad.
point season,
Yep.
and a Washington Capital.
Yep, not bad.
You have a nice picture, too.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
That's
How
an
old do you
okay
think you were in that photo?
26. Was it 26 that one?
Wow.
maybe 27,
Yeah,
26.
you're looking sharp. That's obviously in Ottawa.
Yeah, that's not the.
What
one
did you
there.
guys think of the logo? Like it's a guy's face from the ancient Rome. Did
I think it's
anybody-
awesome.
Did any of the players care?
No, it's a cool logo. I still like it. It's a good logo.
I don't mind it. They've changed
They've
the
tweaked it a
angle.
little bit.
There's some
Yeah.
I've liked better than others.
Yeah, I like
there
it
was
though.
one where the face looked a little twisted almost, but
Yeah.
I kind of like the one more that's in profile.
I like the profile one.
Yeah.
Like aside the old school, like the same as the one that they came into the league with years ago. Like it's a good logo, good colors. Like it's a solid jersey.
I used to pay a lot of attention to the centers because Wade Redden's from just outside
Right.
of Lloyd, right? So when they were good, that's when I was working in Lloyd. Right?
No, never mind. That was New York, not the Islanders.
I can't believe I can't think of an Islander and a Red Wing.
I know. I was my brain was going Islander and.
Is it Sillinger that played for like a bunch of teams?
Yes, he did. Yeah, he might have been the 11-team guy.
Yeah.
Washington. Did Gonchar play? Now, where did Gonch?
Washington.
Gonchar was
Pittsburgh.
Washington. So Gonchar would be in Minnesota. Or no,
And-
Gonch was Ottawa. Sorry, not Minnesota.
Ottawa.
Gonch was just Ottawa. He would be Ottawa, Washington, not Minnesota,
Okay,
Washington.
we're trying Cylinder for Detroit and the Islanders.
Has a good
Go
chance.
for it.
Might as well.
Yeah.
We're wrong.
Drop it
We're
in there.
wrong. We're doing it on the fly. 5%, 5%, not
Yeah.
bad. So in 2 minutes, somebody, if you're putting it in the nasty chat, you got to tell us what category you're going for. We need somebody who was a Capital
Minnesota,
and a Wild,
Detroit.
and we need somebody who was a Red Wing and a Wild.
I'm trying to think
in
of
less
Red
than
Wings.
a minute.
Red Wings and Wild.
Red Wings, Wild. God.
That's a tough one.
Somebody put
That is a
Nedved, Robert Nielsen, Jeff Sanderson. People are just putting names
Did
in.
Pouliot play in the Islanders after Edmonton?
Benoit?
Yeah.
Where did he go?
Where did he go after?
Or was it Boston?
No, it wasn't Boston. I don't think it was Boston.
Somebody said Camilleri. I don't know if that's one. Chris Simon, Washington and Minnesota.
That would be, yep, that's actually a good one. Yep, that's a good one.
Amazing.
Yep, that'll be a good one. That's going to have a
I
good
can't
percentage in
remember
that
him
one.
in Minnesota.
2%.
Yeah, just brief. Yeah. Yeah,
we
he
need
was
a
there.
Wild and a Red Wing to close it out, everybody. You gotta tell us
It wasn't, no.
Wes Walls, Minnesota.
Oh,
That would have been
That's
a good
it.
one. Was he Red Wing or was
He's
he
a Red
Washington?
Wing.
Was he Red Wing or Washington?
he's a Red Wing.
No, they're saying to do it here.
Okay.
West Walls was
7%. So we got
There you
22.
go.
That's not bad.
Hey!
22 is good.
22. You got to
Right.
try to get 0.
Okay.
So Wes Walls,
He's
he's actually
7%,
was
so
our
he was
highest
higher.
percentage, but still
Yeah.
we finished it thanks to the help of the
Yeah.
Nasties.
Nice.
There we
That's
go.
the truth. So we had a fun show.
There we go.
We broke down Jason Smith, his career. He's the new Oil Kings head coach. He's going to join us at 3:40. Coming up from 1 to 3, Salas and Gager, EST Afternoons. Kass, thanks for coming in. This was great to see you.
Good to
in the
be here.
Popeye studio. 2 guys and a goalie for GS Construction. Stay on the stream, everybody. Gager and Hernan coming up at 1.